Alright, welcome back.
Hello.
I knew I'd get you out for the war movie.
Yeah, you knew well. You know me well.
Ryan, which one you want? You want the war movie? You want the I'm gonna fuck a phone movie?
Well, I've already fucked my phone, so I might as well go to a war movie.
Might as well go to fuck a war movie.
Fucking war movie. Yeah. You know me so well.
Well, I should start this out by, I guess, my conclusion of how many videos I was talking about the trailer for this thing. Did you ever get the full trailer for this movie?
I think because it was like a featurette, right? Like
both. It was like both. It was half trailer, half featurette, because it had the actual guy on it. It had Peter Berg in it, and it was like 5 minutes.
I think I did. I mean, I also, one of the reasons I haven't been to a lot of these is the baby takes up all of my time.
And I usually ask you to see something horrible.
Which is usually why I say the baby takes up all of my time. So,
to be fair, they're kids' movies with Jake. You could have brought the kid.
Oh, sure. My 6-month-old at the movies, they would have loved me.
Walking with dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, of course. That would have gone over great. But no, I think I remember it because the last movie I saw, hell, I can't remember the last movie I saw. Oh, I know what it was. Wait, no, it wasn't that. You talk. I'll think about what it was I saw.
Well, when I first got the trailer for this, I thought it looked. I didn't. It's not that I necessarily thought it looked bad. I just for 2 months straight, like we got pounded with the trailer for this in front of 99% of what we saw. It was in front of, and it was in with the regular trailers. It wasn't with the featurettes, because that would have been one thing. That would have been one thing.
Right.
But so I was like, oh my god! I was just sick of fucking seeing the trailer for it, and the the theatrical made it look more like something like Act of Valor or something like that. The TV trailers for this movie are, 1, better, and 2, more representative of what the movie is actually like. I want to kind of say, and I should say, this is a really good movie. It's really fucking good. I would say, the theatrical trailers are really doing it kind of a disservice, because I get comments from people saying the same thing, where they say they don't want to see it because they're tired of seeing the trailer in front of every goddamn thing. And honestly, if I didn't have to see it for the site, I don't know. Well, you know what? I probably would have, because it did get really good reviews. But at the same time, I guess the trailers worked, because this movie brought in double what they predicted it would be. It's a huge hit.
Hunger Games.
Oh, you saw Hunger Games.
That was the last movie I saw. Anyways.
I was at that one too.
No, but so I think it was the featurettes were out by then, because I have a vague memory of seeing it, because I remember seeing the actual guy talking about how important this thing was for his friends. But yeah, that would be really annoying, since I've obviously, I can only comment it from out the side, is seeing that every single time. Would be really, really annoying.
Yeah, and there's always something like that, and it's rarely that it's necessarily that I think it's, because I even said when I was complaining about the trailer, there's a chance it might be good, I'm just sick of seeing the trailer. There's always something like that. I remember when we were bombarded with the Mama trailer for about 4 months straight, being this movie might be good, but dear God, I'm sick of seeing the fucking trailer. But you read the book that this is based on. Right.
And so I wanted, because I wanted to know, the actual story, and I wanted to, before the movie came out, understand, what the differences were, the inaccuracies, and so forth. And, it was relatively close. They took some liberties, obviously, and I guess here are spoilers. It's called Lone Survivor, and it's based on...
Spoiler
alert. It's called Lone Survivor, which Mark Wahlberg's the only, other than Eric Bana, the only, name, recognizable,
There's a few. There's,
big star. There are a lot of people who are, definitely good actors and recognizable actors.
Ben Foster's in this. Taylor Kitsch, which I'll bet he's glad he's in a good movie.
Yeah.
This is the way better Taylor Kitsch Peter Berg movie.
Yeah. He was really, really good.
He is really good.
Yeah, but anyway, so the kind of the story of some of the battle scenes, and there's a big battle sequence at the end, that weren't specifically touched on in the real story.
And I can see why those would be, because it gives the movie a third act.
It gives the movie a third act. It gives a nice big finale.
Yeah.
It also gives some resolution for the tribal villagers and so forth.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like even even if it didn't happen exactly like that, it doesn't feel like really cheap. It doesn't feel like it just suddenly it has some Hollywood action sequence at the end of it, or something like that. It doesn't feel like that. I mean, it does work along with the rest of the movie. It doesn't feel out of place. Yeah, it gives it a good ending.
And like, there's a helicopter that gets shot down that, like, in his story, he didn't actually see that happen, but in this, Mark Wahlberg watches that happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of, I mean, that's not that big of a difference, but at the same time, it's like, you want to tell the story from his point of view.
Yeah. And if it didn't do it, and if it didn't have it to where he didn't witness it himself, it would have felt like some weird cutaway where he'd be like, why did that just happen?
Right, you know what I mean? He needed to watch it happen because it actually did happen.
Yeah.
So you needed to have him see it happen, anyway. I mean, the story was it's a really interesting story because it's this Navy SEAL team, and it was really just a really very passionate love letter to the Navy SEALs. More so, I think, than Act of Valor was, because Act of Valor was basically made by the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
Kind of saying, here's what we do, and it was kind of here's a best case scenario, here's all of our awesome toys, and here's everything that we do, and I mean, I liked Act of Valor.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the best movie, but I still really liked it. I dug it. I thought it was really, really cool. This was more like, here's why these guys are so awesome. I mean, yes, they're awesome. Yes, they know they're awesome and they can show up. But this is, the movie started out, the whole opening credit sequence was showing their training process, their selection process of how hard it is to become a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
And also kind of talking about how much they rely on each other and how much like their strength from within and sort of thing. And so, that was kind of setting up, the point of the whole movie is, being able to dig deep and pull within and how much they relied on each other.
And fuck me, I mean, they spend a lot of the movie just riddled with bullets.
Right,
Whether it's through the hand, the foot, the leg, the back, the gut, packing dirt in their bullet wounds.
Right,
pushing their bones back into their legs.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And
It's one of the most violent movies I've ever seen, unapologetically violent movies of like the realism as close as you could probably get by making a movie with visual effects.
Yeah, and it's not gratuitous. It's not an exploitation movie.
No, but it's I think it's scarier than what an exploitation movie, because an exploitation is like, oh, look at all the blood we can make. Whereas this was like, there's a scene where, the guy's sitting up against a tree and he's just been riddled with, just so much has happened to him, and they're shooting at him. You can see the bullets nicking by him.
That was a haunting shot. Jesus Christ.
And he's just looking out, and then just suddenly one of them hits his head, and he just,
fuck me.
And it's not like, it's not like a, what I want to say, big explosion or
it
looks like what you can imagine something like that would really, which is terrifying. I mean, it's horrifying, it's awful, but it's so incredibly well done. And I think it would be almost it wouldn't be respectful, frankly, to what these guys actually went through if they tried to make it anything different.
I know. If they turned it into like Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS or something like that, but. Yeah, and they have Greg Nicotero doing the effects work in this, so the makeup and everything like that is great. Whether it's like little things like a nick across the face, a deep cut across the ear, or shrapnel being pulled out of the leg.
That was a sequence, where Mark Wahlberg is using a knife to dig shrapnel out of his leg, and man.
For you know how the movie ends, or hell, actually, it doesn't even. By about the middle of the movie, he's the last one left, and then it's really a story of survival. Yeah. But, you know how it ends, so even going into it, pretty much knowing not everything that's going to happen, but you kind of, you know what the outcome is going to be. Even knowing that, it's suspenseful. It's really fucking intense.
It is intense. Because they're battling against like this whole army of Taliban soldiers, and it's kind of interesting in that it shows that. There's a lot of movies that are not necessarily based on history that just kind of have enemy soldiers are dumb and stupid and come running into bullets and so forth. Well, they kind of show the Taliban as being a really ruthless enemy. Like they're really, they're they think they're running away and they're getting away because they're faster than these guys, but these Taliban know those mountains and can catch up to them really, really fast, and they're just relentless.
Yeah,
there's only a few quiet moments in this movie that are instantly explosion. That you're interrupted with them being shot at again.
Yeah,
or being shot. I mean, it's man.
You can't predict when another fucking bomb is going to go off right behind him, or one of their rocket launchers or something. Yeah, honestly, the way that the Taliban is in this, how relentless they are at wanting to kill these guys. Outside we were talking, and I was, because Dave didn't really want to see this, and I was telling him, you would really like this is good. And what I said to him, and this is what sold him, was when I was like, I just imagine Assault on Precinct 13 in Afghanistan. Right. I mean, as ruthless as the villains are in this movie, it's kind of like watching the Cholo in Assault on Precinct 13. My fucking God.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, and he ends, that was really, really, a really great piece of acting from Wahlberg, too, at the end when he gets saved by a village there, and he doesn't know if they're gonna fucking kill him or what. He doesn't. This is something I liked about the movie, too, is that only a couple times you see subtitles.
Right, yeah.
Like, a couple times you do. Other than that, you don't. So unless you speak the language, you're kind of as confused as Wahlberg is, and I think that's really, really effective.
It is, yeah, it really, really is, because you don't know, because he's now the only survivor.
Yeah,
and his legs are broken. In the actual story, he was paralyzed by this point.
Yeah,
but in the movie, he can still sort of walk. And he's found by these villagers, and he doesn't understand them. And
he's got a grenade in his hand.
Right.
He's threatening, one guy is looking at him pretty evil, and there's a great piece of acting from him where he's terrified and at the same time is saying, I'm gonna seriously fucking kill you.
Would just pull the grenade pin and blow everybody up. It's really good. So,
and that was pretty touching at the end, when he's saying goodbye to these people who saved his life.
It saved his life, and at cost to themselves, because in the movie it shows them being retaliated on by the Taliban.
Yeah,
the Taliban come back and attack the village.
Yeah,
which it's been a little while, so I forget exactly what, but it's kind of commenting on this is what actually happens over there, is that the people who do help the Americans are not in line with the Taliban. They have to face the repercussions of them. I mean, they're just they're bad people. They're a bad group of bad guys.
Yeah.
So and to show that there are those villages who are good and who will are not it was good. It was really good. It was touching. So.
And it does have funny moments in it too. I mean, at the end when he's asking for a knife and the kid brings him a duck.
Right.
I mean, that was funny. And also this group of guys. I mean, of course, the setup, you see them all shooting the shit, hanging out, and stuff like that. I mean, one guy is one of the guys who is not Wahlberg, and one of the other characters is talking about, there's a running thing about how he's soon going to get married and stuff like that, and I don't know that. It's hard for me to be really cynical about that because I don't know if that's actually what happened, but yeah, I mean, if maybe that's actually did happen with that character, but I mean, it could easily be okay, let's make this guy you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's make this guy about to get married or something. But I mean, I don't know, but it worked. It worked. Yeah. It wasn't poorly integrated in the movie or anything like that. But there's a lot of funny banter between all of them, whether they're talking about this guy's wedding, whether they're giving shit to the rookie guy. Hell, even when they're getting fired upon by the Taliban, fucking Christ, they've still got their spirit, man.
Right,
I mean, they're still they take this horrible tumble down this fucking cliff. Jesus Christ.
And which was, again, very graphic of them, hitting the rock. It wasn't just, they fell, and then, no, it's like a minute and a half sequence of them hitting rocks and crashing down.
Yeah, and instead of, instead of just laying there until they die, the dude gets up and he's, well, that sucks.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it still has. I mean, the actors in the movie are all fantastic.
Yeah, they really are. And really showing the spirit of these soldiers that actually do this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wasn't this the movie that Mark Wahlberg was promoting when Tom Cruise or somebody did that speech about, I feel like I know what it must be like to be a soldier in Afghanistan? Do you remember that?
Did Tom Cruise really? Did he say that?
You didn't hear about that?
I missed that.
No, this was a while ago, yeah. And it was like Tom Cruise was like just making a quip by saying, you know, it's like, oh, being away from my family so much, I know what it must be like to be a soldier in Afghanistan.
God damn it!
Yeah, you didn't hear about this? No. This is before Kanye did his, you know, I'm standing on top of the stage, and that must be what a cop feels like or a soldier.
Oh,
you know?
Jesus Christ!
You hear about this
I know.
You live in a cave. Get out of your cave once in a while and listen to some of this stupid shit that celebrities say.
I don't watch a lot of celebrity news. I miss that.
Well, no. So Tom Cruise said that, and he was more commenting on, you know, I'm away from my family so much.
Yeah.
I know what it's like for the soldiers to be
really
away.
Bad analogy.
So like somebody asked Mark Wahlberg at one of these events, and Mark Wahlberg, I can't quote what he said, but basically just tears into. He doesn't say Tom Cruise, but he says anybody who would, you know, say that.
Yeah.
You know, we go home to our trailers. We don't have to do any of the shit these people have to do. We have no idea ever what it's like.
You could make a much easier analogy. You could say, now I know what it's like for someone to go on a business trip.
Right, yeah.
You know, you don't have to jump to the, now I know what it was like to be in Nam.
Right,
like,
yeah, well, of course you do, right, yeah, because they're away from their families, I'm away from their families.
Yeah,
the situation is identical.
The soundtrack to the Nam movies have CCR on them. I'm listening to that on the radio.
That's on my iPod, huh?
Yeah, now I know what it was like to be Lieutenant Dan.
Right, yeah, that's funny, I can't believe, you hadn't heard about that.
No,
it was Mark Wahlberg. Who I think, I don't know, people gave him crap about how he responded or whatever, but I think it's just, you know, he responded by saying, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows other than the guys that actually did it, but it's getting to see just a taste of perhaps what it might have been like for these guys to actually do this shit.
Mm-hmm. You know, and again, like a hard R. This is not. It's not Hollywoodying it. It's not doing anything like that. I mean, this is showing it in graphic detail. Not only that, also in how they actually talk to each other too, because they are dropping. They're like, "Fuck this shit, man! Fuck, fucking Christ! Fuck that!" Yeah, like you know, dropping. They're not sugarcoating their words at all in this thing.
Really not.
Just as any other person would. Any other person would be talking like this. They wouldn't be sugarcoating their own goddamn language.
Yeah.
And I know Peter Berg was wanting to make this for a while and had to do Battleship.
Oh, man.
This movie was announced before Battleship was made, but in order to get the movie made, he had to kind of play ball and do Battleship.
Oh, man.
You know, I mean, at least he got this one made. I mean,
it's true. This is I mean, I can't even. That's stupid. I can't say it's a better movie than Battleship. Of course, it's
Of course, Battleship's the better movie.
Of course, this web video is better than Battleship. It has more story, better. You know. Anyway, no.
It doesn't have nearly enough chicken burritos, though.
Give it time. So, oh my God, no, but this was Thank God Peter Berg could make something that didn't suck so bad.
Yeah, because I honestly, I mean, I was wondering why he directed Battleship.
That was a terrible thing for him, because
Normally, like, there's very bad things, and, he did The Rundown, that was really good.
Yeah.
There was Friday Night Lights, he's a good director. He's a really, really good director.
This was clearly a project he had passion for. I mean, you could really tell that he really had passion for this and wanted to, you know, show it and you know, really pay respect to these people.
Yeah, and honestly,
really
as much as those trailers really did grate on my nerves, you could tell that from when he was talking, because he's interviewed in you could tell that from what he was saying. And I saw him pop up like in a really quick cameo when the rookie guy's dancing, giving the speech, you could see him. Same with the real guy.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Actual
Mark Luttrell, I think was his name. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. If it weren't for that trailer, I wouldn't have even.
No, that was him.
I wouldn't even notice that was him. I mean, I probably would have figured he was in there somewhere.
Sure. Yeah. Well, he and some other actual Navy SEAL were like advisors on the film for the whole time.
Oh, right on.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where? Do you know where the movie was shot?
I don't know, but I have the internet right here, and maybe I can see.
Sweet.
We will look at the internet while we're on the internet.
where they shot it, because there were really some beautiful scenery here.
Right,
I mean, like shooting the sunrise, sunset over the mountains there, and getting good shots over the trees and the fog and steam and everything.
Well, and I wonder where
really
it was
well
actually
done.
filmed, because how did they where was that? And New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah.
This actually says Afghanistan.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. They wanted authenticity. So,
Shot at the actual location.
right, yeah. We'll go to the villages and get extras. That will go over great.
Oh my God.
Go in there in a Jeep blasting American music, shout at them for not speaking English. This will go over very well.
You drank Battleship. You died. Oh my God, they recognized me. I definitely recommend it. I mean, like, January is often known as the dumping ground month, because it is.
Yeah.
But, every now and then you still get something really fucking good. A couple years ago, The Grey came out in January. That was one of the best movies of that year.
Yeah.
This one's really good. It deserves better than a January slot.
Right, yeah. I would recommend it too. I really like military movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of a military buff.
Yeah.
So I really liked this. I mean, I liked Act of Valor, even I didn't
think
Saving Private Ryan. I mean, I have a handful of war movies I did not like. Wind Talkers, Thin Red Line. I could go on. But I mean, I usually like old.
Act of Valor, I just thought was kind of an in one ear, out the other.
Because there wasn't really a lot of substance to it. It was just like, look at all the cool toys Navy SEALs use. And that's kind of all it really was. And, being kind of a military buff, I liked it because they halo jump onto a submarine and then use little mini submarines to go attack things. I mean, that's kind of cool. So, but otherwise,
you the Thin Red Line.
Yeah.
Wow, that's what it was like.
Oh, yeah.
But it was our most poetic war.
Right, you're right, exactly. And I didn't really care for Wind Talkers either. You ever see Wind Talkers?
Well, yeah,
it's Nick Cage.
Yeah, it's Nick Cage.
It's still Nick Cage, but
I barely remember anything about
exactly.
that.
It was kind of just it just wasn't that
Yeah, I saw it when it came out. I was working at the movie theater at the time.
Right.
I was, or Nick was, one of the two. But I remember it wasn't out for very long.
Right. It just wasn't that great of a movie. But, I mean, I've seen so many old war movies from the 60s and all the John Wayne and all that. Those are such terrible. I mean, they're great, but it's just an old fat John Wayne who's
who's a
leading Marine. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in the world's only pro-Vietnam War movie. The
Right.
Race.
Oh my God.
Boy, that movie's aged well. Good God.
Yeah, so I like these movies, and this was a really, really, really good movie.
Yeah, it's damn fucking good. I really do fucking recommend it. The reviews for it are good. If you were put off by it from the trailers that were out in theaters, it's better than that. It's better than how they're kind of advertising it there. On TV, the ones that are on TV and the ones that I've seen some pop up in front of my videos before, those are a lot more representative of what the movie is like. Very, very, very much so. It's an intense flick. So
yeah.
Between Lone Survivor and Her, because I guess they really liked Her a lot. Sounds like there's at least a couple of good movies out that aren't Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, or Legend of Hercules.
Awesome. Fantastic.
And fuck, Wolf of Wall Street's still out.
I haven't seen a movie in so long.
You should have been there when I had the day of 4 movies.
Yeah.
10 a.m.
I would kill to just watch movies all day.
Honestly, I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Some people online were like, "Holy shit, how did you do that?"
I'd do that. If I had nothing else to do, I'd do that.
What else was I going to be doing that day? Like, what? I'm going to be at home playing Grand Theft Auto for the 8 millionth time? Like, no, I was just fucking came out, saw 4 movies. I didn't mind it. Granted, it got a little rough when one of them was a grudge match, but that was a little... Then I was like, wow, maybe this was a big mistake. Fuck. I think next week is There's like 3 of them next week. There's like Jack Ryan, Devil's Due.
Oh, God. Hey, I've got an idea. Let's do a found footage horror movie. Because that's a brand new concept that no one else is thinking of.
Have you seen the trailer yet for the found footage movie about time travel?
No, I haven't seen that.
The butterfly effect doesn't erase the tapes. Don't worry, it's good. I've gotten that a few times. It's a Platinum Dunes movie. I think it's called like Welcome to Yesterday or something like that. Welcome to Yesterday or Welcome to Tomorrow. One of those. It could be either fucking one of those.
Whatever they've titled it, we'll title a movie opposite that and release it at the same time. We can make it just as fast within now and when it opens, and it'll have the same quality, and everyone will be confused, and they'll go see our movie.
Sweet. It can't be that hard.
No, honestly, really, it cannot be that hard.
Yeah.
Stupid found footage movies that will not go away.
Oh, man. I wish... Wait, I think I still do. Actually, I think that was a tape that wasn't stolen. The found footage movie that Dave and I made when we were still in high school. Like, it was the year that the Blair Witch Project came out. And it was before that movie was released. It was before Big Hit, and, like, nobody had heard of it. Like, someone mentioned something about it at, like, a film festival or something. So we're sitting there, like, oh, what's this, like, little movie? That's a good idea. Maybe we should try that. We did, and then Blair Witch comes this runaway success, and we're like, we made the ripoff first. We made the very first Blair Witch Project ripoff before it was released. I don't know why we're gloating about that, but it sounds really stupid in retrospect.
Just keep that down. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
It was called The Last Documentary. And the actually I'm it's coming back to me now. It's 4 filmmakers. They went off to the woods to find a serial killer, and they end up just getting killed. It was like fucking 20 minutes long. It was awful. It had no script. It was all improvised. At one point, Nick just calls me by my name, my actual name, and like we lost light, so it was like the movie's made for blind people. Like, at one point, we find a cigarette pit on the ground. We're like, oh, that means the killer must be a smoker. This very public cigarette pit. And the funny thing is the nickname that we gave the killer in it is the nickname that I gave the killer in Paranoia. Oh. So, like, it's a prequel.
It's a prequel.
They were looking for Mark Bishop in the woods.
Oh, well, there you go. See, it all just comes full circle.
I forgot. Yeah,
it just tends to, that the Brad Jones universe is all the same universe. Like, people have the theories about the Pixar universe all being one universe. Well, the Brad Jones universe is all the same.
It's all the same.
There you go. Oh,
I forgot about that. Yeah. That honestly, like, that would have been a nice extra feature, because I know it didn't have any music in it. We wouldn't have had to worry about copywriting jack shit.
Maybe the Blu-ray. We'll put it on.
Yeah. The Last Documentary.
The Last Documentary.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
Final thoughts?
Final thought. I recommend it. It was a very gritty, well-made movie about soldiers. I don't know. I mean, that's the.
I don't know. What do you want from me?
What do you want from me? No. I mean, it is. I mean, it really is what it is. It's a harrowing tale about the guy who is the lone survivor and how he, It's a very honest. It's honest. It's a very honest piece.
Yeah, it rings true. It's not corny. It's not. It's not really cheesy or corny or anything like that. It's a really damn good flick. So go check it out. Oh, that means our time is up. Whoa. Play us out, Paul. Bye.
Bye.